Hey guys, Willie Creeman here again, wrapping up the AFC North with the Baltimore Ravens. They finished first in the division. They finished with a record of 13-4, but they still lose to Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. They were excellent this year, right? Lamar was MVP. The defense was stellar, but they still fall short to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They've got to figure out what they can do to be able to get over that hump and not drop a dud in that game. They lost a lot of guys, 15 in total, and still counting in free agency, which was really tough. And their offensive line was just decimated. They had a lot of good players on that line that now have signed with other teams, but they're a victim of their own success with that. They end up trading Morgan Moses to the Jets. Their starting tackle, John Simpson, ended up signing with them as well. Kevin Zeitler, he ends up signing with the Lions. So they got a lot of holes on that offensive line. I just don't see this line being that good for Lamar and Derrick Henry, even with some of the additions that they've made. So the other thing is, who's their wide receiver one? I know Zay Flowers, he was great last year, but he's usually a slot guy. Like, they need a guy on the outside, and OBJ's not back. He didn't get re-signed with them. They need to find somebody there to be able to do it. Their defense lost pieces too, though, right? Like, Geno Stone left for rival Cincinnati, which is tough. Ronald Darby ends up signing in Jacksonville. You got Patrick Queen and Clowney. Both are gone and signed elsewhere in free agency. Those are tough moves to be able to recover from. But their biggest free agent addition that for me, in my mind, was Justin Madubuike. And he was just big for their defense. He had an immense impact, and he caused problems for offenses all year. They really needed to be able to re-sign him and lock him down for a number of years. But for me, the worst free agency addition that they had was Derrick Henry. And I just want you to hear me out on this. The reason I say this is not because I don't like Derrick Henry or that I don't like Baltimore. I'm a fan of both of them. But they let half of their offensive line go in free agency and traded others away. You can't bring Derrick Henry in behind a porous line and expect him to be able to be successful. He is aging. I know he's a freak, and I know he's probably got at least one or two good years left behind a good offensive line. But with holes in it, how are you going to be able to do that? I don't see him being able to succeed behind this line that they have right now. In terms of the draft, right, like DaCosta, this is where he kind of earns his bread, right? He knocked it out of the park again. You know, they end up landing Nate Wiggins out of Clemson, who's definitely undersized at corner, but he's tenacious. He's super fast. Then they come back and they grab Rosengarten out of Washington, who's definitely going to step in and be their starting right tackle. I just don't know how well he's going to transition in the NFL, but he definitely will be their day one starter that they have, and he's going to have some growing pains there. But I really liked two other picks that they made as well. TJ Tampa out of Iowa State, which I think is a brilliant pick. He slid down the board quite a bit, so they were able to snag him there. And then another guy that slid a little bit was Tez Walker, who's just a big-bodied receiver out of North Carolina. Definitely be on the lookout for him in training camp, because we're going to be interested to see where he fits into this offense and how they utilize him. All right, guys, take care.